Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I am Sadia Hussain, lecturer, Department of Finance. Today I am going to discuss chapter 4, which is risks and uncertainty. In this class, I am going to solve a board question, which is Rajshahi Board 2019. My dear student, today I am going to discuss chapter 4, which is risks and uncertainty. In our today's class, I am going to discuss a board question which is Rajshahi Board 2019. Here is the stem. Mrs. Fariha Sultana is a government service holder. She invests her retirement benefit to the bond of Onnesha Company for 5 years at 15% rate. But she could not sell the bond in the market for emergency needs. Later, on maturity, she gets the money and decided to invest the fund into a project named Shopna and Asha. The rate of return of Shopna project for last 6 years are 10, 20, minus 5, 15, 8 and 0%. Rate of risk is 12.62% and average rate of return is 8% of the Asha project. Here are the questions. First one is, what is risk-free return? This question is for 1 mark. Then question number B, what type of risk is faced by an organization while financing from reserve fund? Explain. This question is for 2 marks. Question number C, what type of risk is faced by Mrs. Fariha Sultana initially from reserve fund? Explain. This question is for 3 marks. Then question number D. Which project will be profitable for Mrs. Fariha Sultana? Show argument in favor of your answer. This question is for 4 marks. The solution of question number A. The definition of risk-free return. When the expected return equals to the actual return, this is called risk-free return. Then, question number B. The answer of question number B, first one is this answer would be business risks. That means if company finances only through reserve fund, business risks will arise. You can explain this question like that. Business finance is the probable failure of not paying operating cost of the business. Operating cost includes salary of labor, office rent, raw material purchase, and so on. If reserve fund is fully used in financing, business risks will arise. This is a solution of question number C. The answer of knowledge-based one is liquidity risks. That means liquidity risk is faced by Mrs. Fariha in investing initially. This kind of risk arises when marketable securities like share, bond cannot be converted into cash immediately. Liquidity risk depends on the type of market size and structure. Mrs. Fariha is an investor. She is investing in the bond of Onnesha Company for 5 years. In return, she gets 15% interest. Suddenly, when she needs money for some urgency, she cannot sell the bonds in the market. That means she cannot get liquid money by selling the bonds. So clearly, Mrs. Fariha faces the liquidity risk by initial investment. This is the solution of question number D. My dear students, listen carefully. The question number D is, which project will be profitable for Mrs. Fariha Sultana? That means we have to analyze project Shopna and project Asha. In our STEM, the rate of return and risk standard deviation are given for Asha project. So for analyzing, you have to calculate the standard deviation as well as rate of return for Shopna project. For the calculation, you have to draw a box. Here you have to first put down all the years, which is 1 to 6. Then you can put all the rate of return. These two columns are given in the stem. Now you have to calculate the rate of return by adding all the rate of return, which is 48. Then you can calculate the average return, which is rate of return divided by total number of years. That means 48 divided by 6, which is 8. So average rate of return is 8. Then in column number 3, you have to calculate the deviation. That means you have to deduct the income from the average. That means rate of return minus average rate of return, which is 10 minus 8 equal to 2, 20 minus 8 equal to 12, minus 5 minus 8 equal to 13, as well as 15 minus 8 equal to 7, 8 minus 8 equal to 0, and last one is 0 minus 8 equal to minus 8. And in our last column, you have to square all the deviations. That means 2 to the power 2, which is 8, 12 square, which is 144, 13 whole square, which is 169, 7 whole square equal to 49, 0 equal to 0, and 8 whole square equal to 64. Then you have to sum, that means you have to total the square deviation, which is 430. Then you have to calculate the average sum of square deviation, which is 430 divided by 6 minus 1. 6, here 6 is m. We can get 86. So the standard deviation equal to root over 86, which is 9.27%. So the average rate of return is 8% and the standard deviation of Swapna project is 9.2%. So conclusion of this STEM. Standard deviation of Asha project is 12.65% and rate of return is 8%. Average rate of return of both projects are same, but the risk is in Asha project is much higher than the Swapna project. So Mrs. Fariha should invest in Swapna project. My dear students, that's all for today's class. If you have any kind of questions, queries, you can ask me over phone or in your Zoom class. Allah Hafiz.